Hi, I'm Samantha Jala, and I'm the founder of Radical Bench. Radical Bench kind of comes from this idea of a bench being a place where when I was growing up as a kid, I would sit on benches with my grandmothers and they would, always be there to give me the gift of presence. So it was this place where you could sit and be yourself and just be without having to worry about what you were doing or any of that. But, for the individuals who are looking for coaching, it's sort of like the radical piece is coming into the sense of you're looking for a radical transformation of some sort. Whether it's finding some fulfillment in your life, whether it's accepting you and your strengths and gifts and how you want to show up in the world, this radical transformation, you can have this opportunity to do it at Radical Bench. The whole idea of coaching is more from a perspective of you're trying to get to know you. You're looking for space where you can sit and reflect and think about who you are, your strengths, and where you were really trying to go. And when you come to a coaching session with me, that's where I think it's powerful because it's an opportunity to ask you questions so that you can distinguish between who am I, what are my actions saying about me versus what I'm trying to portray. And there's a beauty in loving yourself as you are that I don't think we often experience alone. And through coaching, you can have that opportunity to experience that. Like, I am gonna be great. Once someone believes in me, someone sees this in me, but more importantly, now I see this in me. And now I can plan to be as great as I want to be, but I was too afraid to dare to be. I'm like a prime example of someone who for most of my life was just so logical about things that I was never in touch with the emotional side of me. And then it took a few tragedies or breakdowns to get me to see there was this whole element of self that I was living without experiencing because I had numbed myself to everything about that angle of myself. And so for me, in the last 2 years, I lost my father. And when I lost my father, that was the tragedy that got me in touch with the emotions of me on an even deeper level. And it was the first time I think I really sat and experienced like emotions, and it was overwhelming because it was all these emotions flooding at once. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, who am I? And in finding and rebuilding who I am, I found that there's this intimate, beautiful part of me that I've ignored for too long, and I don't want to go on living in isolation. And so somewhere in there was an integration and a wholeness that came about. And I just knew after that journey that the rest of my life was going to be spent giving back to people who were where I've been and were looking for a way to integrate themselves with themselves. So for me, it's very personal on so many levels, but it's kind of like one of those, like, I'm living on purpose by doing this, and I'm honored to be in a position to invest in you.